Hi, welcome to We Wine Whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Kelly.
We are talking about Real Housewives of New Jersey, Season 14, Episode 7.
Do we know how many episodes total we get?
I heard we're halfway through, so I think maybe another 7 or 8.
We used to get like 20, but they cut them down. But I guess with this franchise, they're just trying to get through it.
I'll be honest with you. I'm really starting to get a little bit over it. I didn't think that would happen, but
I'm over it.
Yeah.
I'm not over Melissa and Joe or Rachel and John or Margaret. I'm not over any of them, but the rest of them, I'm over it. No, and Danielle and Nate, I still like that. You know, I like them more now than I ever did.
Yeah. So this episode starts out where the other one left off. John and Rachel are leaving and they wind up dropping the gift on the counter, the bottle, which we didn't know what it was at the time. But now this episode, we find out exactly what it was. It was Blue Label.
It was. And I knew that because I remember one of the last parties at Melissa and Joe's house where the father was. They had somebody brought him that bottle. There was a reference to that bottle the last time he was at Joe and Melissa's house. House.
And I guess that was his father's favorite drink. So that's what that was all about.
It's not a cheap bottle.
I'm sure it's not, but it's not. Yeah. There was no good intentions in her buying that bottle. We know that.
She wanted somebody to bring the bottle so she would be a topic of conversation. That's why when she saw the bottle still sitting there, she made damn sure Delores brought it.
Right.
She couldn't just let it be. If she didn't care if they talked about her, she wouldn't have made somebody else bring it.
Right. And I thought it was interesting.
Clear to see.
It was interesting when Rachel's standing there talking to Melissa, explaining to her what happened, and all of a sudden the bottle walks in. She's like, "How did this bottle get here?" As soon as John Fuda sees the bottle, he's like, "How did the bottle get here?"
Yep. So again, no holes in Gabriella's stories.
Right.
No holes.
Right. So we know how the bottle got there, and we know that Melissa handled it perfectly. Listen, I'm not having this conversation. This is not going to be what this party's about. We'll put this bottle in the house with all the other bottles just like this we have. Here's your card. Do what you want with it.
She tried to not acknowledge Teresa at that party because everybody's online saying, you know, they're still talking about Teresa, which is a joke because every scene of Teresa and Louis, they're talking about all the other ladies too. Listen, they're on an ensemble cast. You're going to talk about the other one. But Tamara and Teddy keep saying that Melissa and Margaret are playing this wrong this season because they're still shedding light on Teresa. And I think Melissa was trying to do a good job at that party of not having Teresa as a topic of conversation, but she inserted herself with that bottle.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I 100% agree. And I thought the way Melissa handled it was perfect.
Yep, me too.
And then Melissa and Joe, they're talking. This is actually before this happens. And with her assistant, Lindsey, where they're all planning the party. So I'm not sure. Was the party theme lemon? Was it limoncello? Was it Italy? Like, what was the theme?
I think it was Italy. But people took it as limoncello and most people dressed in white and yellow. But I think it was like an Amalfi Coast theme where so Rachel didn't come in yellow and I don't think Delores did, but everybody else did.
Right.
But they all looked adorable. And, the decorations were beautiful.
Yes. The prosciutto hanging with the clothespins. I mean, how fabulous was that?
Cute. Who thinks of this stuff? There are really some creative people out there.
Yes, there really are. I liked when Delores had her mom and Gabby over for lunch. That they do that every Tuesday because that's when Gabby's off. And they were talking about Frank and Brittany's engagement and, you know, when he's going to do it. He's probably going to do it sooner than later. The poor dog, Frank's poor dog, is sick.
Yeah.
Which is sad. I do like how Gabby is very close to her family. And I also, then Paulie walks in and I'm not feeling Paulie. I'm really not.
No, I think that we're just seeing a different side of him, a different angle. And that's production. And that's what's going on because honestly, Delores does a good job of staying good on both sides and good for her. She is a loyal person, but she doesn't really have a storyline. And I hate to say that because I hate when people talk about storylines, but it's not even a storyline. It's like, what are you sharing as a housewife? Other than being friends with this side and friends with that side and trying to stay unbiased, what do you have going on? Everything can't always be peaches and cream in your life.
Right.
So,
Right.
production's picking up on something and they're showing it.
Yeah, I agree. And I also agree that, I don't like the word storyline either.
Yeah,
I've always said, like, what do you contribute to the show?
exactly.
And I mean, I do think that Delores does contribute to the show because, one, she has known both sides for a very long time.
Yeah,
And
I mean, she's known Joe and Teresa the same amount of time, obviously.
right, exactly. And she doesn't pick a side, and I don't think she should. We get to see her mom. We get to see her relationship with her kids. We get to see her relationship with Frank and Brittany. And, the stuff we see with Paulie is just it's not looking great for Paulie.
No.
And I agree with you that production is just...
They're honing in on that.
Something, yeah. And then we see Adriana, Melania, Teresa, Louis, Nick, and Louis Jr. are all hanging out in the kitchen. And then the barber's coming over to cut Nicholas's hair because he has a certain barber that he likes because he's autistic. And I guess he has kind of sensory issues, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
That was fine. I did think it was
I'm going to make a comparison here, though.
Okay.
And I don't care. Like, you do you.
Mm-hmm.
That room he was getting his haircut in, did you see all the pictures, big pictures of Teresa?
I wasn't even paying attention to that.
Big, giant pictures of Teresa. And that's fine. Listen, Heather Dubrow had herself all over her room, too. And that's good. Do you? But I do think it's interesting that production then showed Melissa showing her office to somebody.
Rachel.
Okay. No
pictures. No. All glass. There's nothing in there.
Even her glam room, when she showed Danielle her glam room.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
I just thought it was a funny comparison. And I think production picked up on that too. And they were like, oh, let's show this.
Yeah, you're probably right. Right. I thought it was funny when Melania and Teresa were talking about where she's going to school. And they're talking about how Gabriella, she went to Michigan and, it's very hard. And she's like, yeah, because she's smart. I'm not going to a school like that. Like, that's not what I'm doing.
Yeah. I never knew that because nobody I know goes to that school, but I have learned that's a very difficult school to get into. They've said it on the show. There's a reason this girl wasn't really on the show that much. She really did have her eyes set on something bigger and better. And good for her. She's
shy.
It.
She didn't want to be on it.
Yeah, she does seem a little introverted, which is
fine. Absolutely.
She looks the best out of all of them. Let's face it.
So, where is she going, Melania? I know we.
I don't know. She's
because it.
So she would have graduated this year, so she would have committed to a college already. I don't know if they've said.
I think they did because I vaguely remember her balloon party in her bedroom.
Oh yeah,
on Instagram. I can't remember where it was though. All right,
is it in state? Maybe she's probably staying in state.
I don't think it was. Now I'm going to have to look it up because now I'm curious.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
It would actually have been nice if she went to UDEL where Antonia went because they were so close when they were younger. Like it would have been nice to see that. Not that they would film,
right?
It might have been the best thing ever because they're not filming, and maybe they could have rekindled that relationship. Without their parents involved. You know.
Yeah, I agree. So. It would have been good. It really would have been. Mm-hmm. Then we see Jenn Aydin and Bill getting ready to leave and go to the party. And Jen says to Bill, please stay by my side. I wonder how long it's going to take for Joe to come up and apologize to me or say hi to me. She expected Joe to go up to her.
So do you know what that's about, what she's talking about?
I think she's talking about the BravoCon thing, right?
She is.
Which is how long ago now at this point? I mean, this is like
months.
I mean, no, it wasn't this past BravoCon. It was the BravoCon before that, the one that was in New York City.
Right. And that was months before they started filming, right? Like that BravoCon happened months before they started filming.
I mean, that BravoCon was in November and then they started filming when? In June. Yeah, it was a long time. Yeah. Like, that's crazy. Like, you really expect, like, I don't know.
And I'm sure he wasn't, I don't even know exactly what happened. Did he throw a drink on her or something?
Well,
or yelled at her?
It was said that she threw the drink at him.
Okay.
Because he was yelling at her. But I don't know if we even really know exactly what happened because
people think I'm yelling all the time, and
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah. Well, my husband is yelling all the time. He's very loud.
But see, that it doesn't even fade. Like,
yeah,
that's just how we talk.
Yeah. It could be. I mean, I don't know because I don't know that we ever got that whole story because it was never like, who cares at this point,
Right.
you know?
Right.
And before that, we see Rachel talking about Juliana and her developmental delays and how she, you know, has the tongue tie, which we knew. And they're hoping that once that gets fixed, that maybe, you know, she's going to meet some of these other milestones that she's been, you know, having a tough time with. And I like that she's sharing that. I like that that's a part, you know, that's what's happening in her life. And, you know, she's doing everything she can to help Juliana. And listen, there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
Like, let's just, you know, talk about these things, normalize them and move on.
Right. Right.
Then Teresa is talking to Louis about Gia wanting to move in with her boyfriend, Christian. And Teresa has some ideas about that. She really wanted her to be independent and live by herself first. And Louis is like, well, did you ever do that? And she's like, no, that's why I want her to do that.
We weren't allowed to.
Right.
I wasn't allowed to live with somebody before I got married.
Yeah.
I wound up doing because we bought the house a month before we got married, but I wasn't allowed to either.
No, I mean, that's how it was.
My sister had a baby with someone, and he wasn't allowed to sleep over. Like, what more do you think is going to happen? She already had the baby. But that was old school. Like, that's how it was.
That's so funny.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get to the party. We're talking about it. You know, Rachel's telling Melissa what happened. Then Delores comes in. Jen, when Jen arrives with Bill, the first thing she shades them about is that at her house, there's normally a valet. Which, like, why did you need to say that? Especially when John Fuda is the valet king. Like, if they wanted a valet, they certainly could have had a valet.
Yeah. I think you could walk up the driveway, Jen.
Apparently, it really wasn't necessary because I think Jen has a much steeper driveway.
Yeah,
like her house is up on a hill,
right?
And their house is
not a
not
huge driveway, like
right, but it's steep. It's like it's not flat ground.
No.
So, and then the other shade she gave as soon as she saw that the cardboard cutout with Joe's face on it, that she's never seen Joe Gorga taller than her. It's like, come on, did you have to say those two things?
It's that I actually thought was funny, but yeah, she's just looking, you know, and this is the thing. So while they're filming, I think Melissa's thinking like they're, you know, trying to step forward, and then she's probably watching this back and hearing her say these things,
right, that are not necessary.
The problem with Jen is that she thinks she's being funny,
right?
She's being insulting.
Yeah, that's it. She doesn't know how to read the room.
No. And she doesn't care.
No, she doesn't care. So then we see Delores is talking to Margaret, and she asks Margaret if she's going to go talk to Jackie about her saying that there was no way that Rachel was going to make up with Teresa with Margaret and Melissa in her ear. Which, you know, she should talk. She should address that. So she says, yeah, I am going to go talk to her. So Margaret goes to talk to Jackie. And she maintains that they're mad because of her being friends with Teresa. And Margaret's like, that's not why I'm mad at you. Like, it has nothing to do with who you're friends with.
Right.
And I'll tell you, watching that and then watching them on Watch What Happens Live, it just shows you who Jackie and Jen are. I mean, even Jen Fessler. Okay, Jen is made up with Margaret, but still, like the two of them. And I don't know.
So I thought Jen Fessler was more, I don't know, more backstepping more with the Teresa thing. Obviously, Jackie's full on committed. We see this.
Well, Jen has backstepped because she said it publicly that she's taking a step back.
Yep.
And why do you think that is? Because I think that Andy kind of got to the point of what it is. Because, you know, Andy asked her on Watch What Happens Live, when Teresa said to you, I swear on my daughters that, Louis was not involved in calling Margaret's son. Did you believe her? And she said, I did believe her at the time. I wouldn't think that she would swear. She goes, but I have seen things and there's been things brought to my attention.
Right. So that leads me to believe that whatever they had in those manila folders, whatever the fuck Jackie wants to say, she can say on Watch What Happens Live, whatever they had in those manila folders proved that Louis did it. Why didn't Bravo use it?
Right.
I think, I really am starting to think, because Teresa to me just has this air about her that she's untouchable. There has to be a reason. I really think that she's got a whole lawsuit planned. If they let her go, she's going to come after them. She's going to come after them for something. And it's probably got something to do with her going to jail. And she's probably going to try to bring something against Bravo for that. She just acts like she doesn't give an F. And so if Jen Fessler saw proof, that leads me to believe that they had proof that day at the reunion. And Bravo chose not to use it because Margaret's come out and said that Bravo saw what she had, right?
Right. But I think that proof hasn't been seen because of legal actions that have been going on behind the scenes, not necessarily Teresa against Bravo, but I think with Margaret against
Louis. And his ex against him. And if Bravo does show anything, they'll be held liable for it.
Yes.
Yep. Could be.
I think that that's what it has to do with, I mean, I'm not 100% sure, but Jackie is shady as shit.
Oh
and
my
she
gosh.
totally flipped for no reason.
And
except
so
for the
funny,
fact that she wants to be there.
Yep. She said she was the one who initiated the reconciliation. We all know now that Teresa's lawyer, Jim Leonard, reached out to her and said, if you flip sides, we're going to get you back on this show full time. That's what happened. I believe it 100%. Gabriella said it, and I believe it. And there's been no holes in her story.
Andy said on Watch What Happens Live to Jackie, wait till you see.
Yep.
Because Andy knows Andy knows what's coming.
Yep.
And Jackie's like, oh, I'm a little nervous. Well, you know what, Jackie? I
just want to say something. Last week when Teresa was on, they said it was the highest ratings, more ratings than Melissa and Margaret combined. However, I don't have Watch What Happens Live on my DVR. I stopped doing that a long time ago. I watched Melissa. I watched Margaret. Teresa's Watch What Happens Live and Jen Fessler and Jackie's were part of my DVR Real Housewives of New Jersey episode. That's why so anybody who had Real Housewives of New Jersey in their DVR had watched Watch What Happens Live. That's why the ratings were higher, not because it was Teresa. I bet you if they did it separately, like Melissa and Margaret, it wouldn't have been as high. Maybe I'm wrong, or maybe it would have been close. Not double, though. There's no way.
I agree. They do that sometimes, and I don't know why they do that. They just put it on the end. So instead of it being an hour episode, it becomes an hour and a half.
Right. Like I had to go. I don't think it was on Melissa's and Margaret's were right after. No, wasn't Dubai on Sunday nights after New Jersey? And then they switched it to Wednesday?
Yes, it was on Sunday nights, but I don't think they switch. Oh, I guess they are switching it because the next one is supposed to be on the 18th.
Right. I actually heard that.
That's tomorrow.
Yeah, and I actually heard that the Top Chef, I don't watch it, but they have very low ratings right now. So I think they moved Dubai over maybe to help those rate. I don't know. I don't know what they think or do, but it was on Sundays and now it's on Wednesday.
Is it Wednesday or is it Tuesday? I think it might be Tuesday, but
maybe it
wrong.
is.
I think it might because I think I thought I saw that it said the next one is on June 18th.
Okay, and but they switched it.
Yeah, because Tuesday was the Vanderpump and the Valley. So it would make sense for them to put something in that time slot. Yeah. Since it's open. What else do I have?
How about Jen saying, okay, so Jen pulls Danielle over.
Yes.
For some bullshit, just to stir some bullshit up.
Right.
But she says, you don't think you should have put Aydin plastic surgery on the step and repeat? Did you donate, Jen? Did Aydin Plastic Surgery donate? Because that's how you get your name on a step and repeat. Not just for showing up. Nobody's going there to see you, Jen. They were going there to see Teresa and Danielle and Delores. Maybe
Right.
not even Danielle, but you put Teresa and Delores up there, people are going to go. People aren't going to see Jenn Aydin. All you did was show up. If you didn't donate any money, your name doesn't get put on a step and repeat. That's charity 101, fundraising 101.
Yeah, no, I agree.
She's just trying to like pick on her.
I know.
Because they're treating Danielle the way they're saying Melissa and Margaret are treating Jackie, but they're not.
No, they're not.
They're treating Danielle a certain way because she's friends now with Margaret and Melissa and Rachel.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I honestly think from seeing the previews for next week, I think next week it's going to get crazy because we're going to we're going to see what happens between Danielle and Jenn Aydin.
Right.
Like,
and this is when they get suspended for the physical altercations, which has never happened before in Housewives. At least not on Jersey. Nobody's ever gotten suspended for pulling hair. I mean, we could go through a whole list of things that Teresa Giudice has done and has never gotten reprimanded for, and other housewives have gotten kicked off shows for. Nene got kicked off for confronting a cameraman for going in her closet when she told them not to before they started filming.
Yeah. Yeah, she absolutely did.
It's a real problem, and Bravo better really watch their step because they're treating the Brown girls a lot differently than they're treating Teresa.
I mean, just what happened with Kenya. Kenya's now spends it indefinitely.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even have a time frame. Nope. I mean, that's never happened.
Mm-hmm.
Mid-season?
I did hear, so I agree with you. But I did hear that because people are making comparisons to her and Tom Sandoval.
Yes.
But he didn't, I mean, this is what I read, and I don't know if it's true because it hasn't aired yet, and we'll probably never see it now. But I heard that she printed pictures of it and posted pictures around an event. That's what somebody said, and that's why they were like, this is the difference. And I get that. I mean, Tom Sandoval didn't do that.
No.
I mean, listen, you send somebody a nude or a video of you doing something, it's out there.
Right.
But
I thought it, and I don't know, because what I read, I didn't see anything about the pictures. I thought it was an actual sex act.
I believe
it was pictures of a sex act.
Like someone giving oral sex, I believe.
Was that what it was?
I think. This is what I read. But, you
That's
know,
horrible. That's just horrible.
That's bad. And I like Kenya. I think she brings a lot to the show, but that's just dirty.
There's no need for that.
Mm-mm.
There's really not.
No.
And that's the thing, is that there's no need for that.
Right.
Boy. What else do I have? Let's see. So Jackie and Delores are talking. Margaret says you were mad at this was good.
Mm-hmm. I got a lot of thoughts on this.
All right. Tell me what your thoughts.
So, you know, Jackie goes over and hugs Joe Benigno, which, I mean, I guess they have that relationship. I mean, I guess they do. She walked up to him and he goes, "You're so pretty. So cute." And then Margaret storms in and says, "We are not friends. We are not as close as we were." And Joe, as loyal as a husband could be, backs off.
Yep.
And then Jackie starts talking to Delores. Meanwhile, Delores knows that she's pissed off that Jackie wasn't tagged in one of her pictures. And Margaret says, "I had to talk her off the ledge for that one."
Right.
And Margaret sends a screenshot of a text message between she and Jackie where Jackie calls Delores a slob. Now, people
for not tagging her.
People are pummeling Margaret online. And
I know
commented this, and I'm trying not to comment because
why? You can comment.
Well, I am a firm believer in the energy you put out into the world is the energy you get back. I feel like I've been getting some bad energy lately.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm trying not to be. I'm commenting, but I'm trying to not be like I'm not commenting on anything on Teresa and Louis. I'm really trying not to. But I did comment this. Margaret is a genius for doing that. Because had she not sent that screenshot in that moment, say she waited until the next day, she's going to be accused of manufacturing a text.
Right.
Now, think about who you're dealing with.
Right.
They're all playing the same game on this show. Margaret's just playing it better than anyone else.
Yep.
She, in that moment, sent that text message. she covered her ass. And Joe, people are pummeling him online for being like this with the phone.
Right, check the text your, yeah. And even when, listen, I'm so with you on this. Even when Jackie says, that's messed up. She said things about you too, but not in text. And she's like, well, she's smarter than you, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yes, she is.
Yes,
and
she
you're
is.
the attorney, Jackie. And yes,
Yep.
she is smarter than you.
You don't put anything in writing. I tell my kids that, which, one of them follows it. One of them, I'm sure, doesn't. You don't put anything in writing ever,
Right.
ever.
Right.
And nobody can come at Joe Benigno for getting into the drama. Every single Jersey house husband gets into the drama. People are getting all up in arms about John Fuda. He was accused of being the biggest drug dealer in Paramus or Bergen County. He's going to defend himself. Louis is the root, not the rude, as Teresa said last week, the root of all of the drama. All of the house husbands are in on the drama, even Frank Catania.
Right.
Bill at the baseball game. You talk to your brother-in-law. They're all in on it. They're all playing the same game. Margaret's just playing it smarter than any of them.
Absolutely. And even the fact that when they went to go have the sit down, Louis did not say one freaking word.
Not a
word. What kind of man lets someone talk to his wife? Even if John was wrong, which, he wasn't.
He wasn't.
You don't let someone talk to your wife that way. Why didn't you say something?
Because he's a Pussy, and I hate that word, but that's exactly what he is. He's a coward.
That conversation should have just been between the two of them. And that's what Rachel said. Maybe you guys need to just have this conversation and leave Teresa and I out of it. Yeah. Because Teresa and her don't need to be in it, to be honest with you.
No. Although Teresa's the one that said he was a drug dealer, but that's because, Yeah,
because
Louis' guy pulled that rap sheet up from when he was 17 years old.
Right, because Louis went after his ex to go bring out bad stuff about him. That was Louis doing that. That wasn't Lisa. Right.
I wonder if Gabrielle is the one that gave them all of this evidence.
Could be.
And then when Bravo wouldn't use it, she was like, I guess I'll go out and say it. I don't know. It's interesting, though. But I don't like that anybody's coming at Joe Benigno for that whole text thing, because they're all in the drama. That's Jersey. And it's fine. It's totally fine. I got no problem with it.
No, I don't have a problem with it either. Andy then, when we on Watch What Happens Live, Andy asked Margaret if they asked her not to do, if Margaret asked Jackie and Jennifer not to do the show if Louis came back. Jen Fessler says, no, she did not. And she maintains that. And Jackie said, well, she asked me. And she was kind of arguing with Jen Fessler about it, implying that Jen Fessler was lying. And Jen's like, no, I'm not lying. Like, she did not ask me that. And she already kind of said what she asked her. She said, if you're not going back to do the show, Margaret, then I'm not going to go back to do the show. That's what Jen Fessler has maintained this whole time.
Right.
But Jackie said, no, she spoke to me and said, if Louis comes back, then don't do the show.
I think that there's always been strength in numbers. I think that's how they got Danielle Staub off the show in the third season. Little did Teresa know by doing that, they were going to bring Melissa on. But I think that it was probably mentioned that maybe if we all band together and tell Bravo we won't film with him, but maybe when it came down to it, they were all nervous they were going to lose their spots. I mean, I can't imagine that all of them would have gotten fired, or maybe they did. Maybe they did approach Bravo with it and they were like, we're not getting rid of Teresa. She wants to film with Louis. I'm sure it was mentioned at some point, but I'm sure it wasn't a directive from Margaret.
No, I don't think it was either.
I'm sure it was discussed amongst the group.
Right. And I don't know, to be honest with you, why Teresa, I guess maybe she doesn't have a spot since Louis is her husband, unless he films with her, because he's just a liability. I mean, I totally
agree with you.
I would think that she would want to do it without him, but maybe they won't let her do it without him because he is the drama.
I think Bravo made a huge mistake by having him back on, because now look, they're probably going to get caught up in some kind of litigation because of this guy, one way or another. I think they made a huge mistake.
I mean, what about that woman that came out that he owes $300,000 to?
The party planner. And
Yep.
she's no joke. Like, she's planned parties for big time people.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
And what does he have to say about that? And the
I don't know
fact
if he's responded. No, he did respond. Somebody wrote, he was somewhere, and somebody wrote, you owe $300,000 to a party planner, and meanwhile you're, whatever, at some country club in Florida. And his reply was, yeah, and so?
Oh.
Mm-hmm. So he did respond. He don't give a fuck either. But I guess he don't have to right now because he's still on the show.
He's still on the show, but did you also hear that shortly after they bought that house in the LLC's name, he redid it and took Teresa's name off the LLC, that house is in his name and the LLC only, not hers?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm waiting to get to the part where they start insinuating that he's blown through all her money.
Because I think that's coming. Isn't that coming?
It's got to be. They showed scenes of it.
Yeah.
I mean, she's just a mess. She really, for her own mental health, should get the hell off this show. She really should. And it's just so dark. It's so dark. It's not enjoyable to watch. I mean, I had fun watching the party last night, but then the whole thing with Jenn and Danielle, and then, Jackie, it's like they can't have fun. They can't just be light.
Yeah, I agree. And actually Danielle was saying that. Like,
Yeah.
why can't we just, have a fundraiser and, get people together and have a good time doing it and, raise money for a good cause?
And I totally believe what she said. Like,
I do too.
I had a safe spot for us away from fans.
Right.
And then all of a sudden there were all these people in there. And this girl blew my hair out one time.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't belong in there. She didn't pay to be in there. Get out.
Right. Right.
If we were there and we got into the VIP, they'd kick us out too.
Yeah, they would. I mean, I'd probably talk us back in, but
You probably
yeah.
would. I'd sit there silent.
Yes, you would.
It's just out of control. It's just out of control. The whole thing.
It is out of control. I don't know. Hearing a lot of talk about OC, because OC's coming back soon.
Yeah.
Now, did you listen to Two Teas in a Pod with Alexis Bellino?
I didn't. Because isn't Alexia on there too?
Well, no, there's one I saw something online where all four of them were on, but the one I just listened to it. She was not on there.
Okay.
And I will tell you, you should listen to it because
I will.
It was eye-opening to me, to be quite honest with you. I was like not really liking her, but I listened to it and let me know what you yeah. Not Alexia. I don't give a crap about Alexia. I mean, she's sleeping with him. She's sleeping with him. She admitted that they're still sleeping together, even though he filed for divorce. Her and Todd.
Don't you think that there's a possibility that he filed for divorce to give her a storyline for next season?
No.
Okay.
No, because
me. I always just assume that.
I know. I think that she was totally blindsided. I think that she was devastated. I think that it was he looks like garbage on camera because he's an idiot. I mean, the 10-minute apology on social media, not showing, like he just does stupid stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, there was some friction there between him and her sons.
Yeah.
I think, I don't think that he's smart enough no.
I'm going to listen to the one with Alexis. I got to be honest with you. I liked Alexis a lot the first time she was on OC. I did. I liked Alexis. I never had a problem with her because I thought it was really shitty. And I truly believe this. I think that Tamra faked a friendship with, what was her name? Gretchen. She faked a friendship with Gretchen to get Gretchen to go after Alexis. And that's what they did. And that's when Alexis was off the show. Because Alexis had Peggy and then they got to Peggy too. It was, Tamra was dirty. I mean, she is. She is dirty. She plays dirty. She plays dirty.
She does.
But I don't like that they brought her back on. And I don't believe that they were bringing her back on before she started dating John. Or it's one or the other. Either she started dating John and they decided to bring her back on the show to mess with Shannon, or she started dating John because she was coming back on the show to mess with Shannon. It's one or the other. This did not happen organically. Because I think that guy likes to be part of the show. Maybe he don't want to be on camera, but he likes to be part of the show.
I thought exactly what you just said until I listened to the podcast. And it changed my mind.
Okay.
So we'll see. I mean, because I do think that I did like Alexis also. I didn't like her husband, Jim. I thought he was a douche and a controlling person. Yeah. And I do think that, they called
using God to mask his. Yeah.
Right. I do think that she is, spiritual and that she is a good person. And I don't think after listening to her side of what happens, I don't think she's lying. I just don't. I think that she's being sincere. So I encourage you to listen to it and let me know what you think. And
yeah, I definitely will.
I actually encourage all of our listeners to listen to it, to be honest with you, before the OC comes out, because I think that you'll look at the show in a different light. Yeah. I mean, all 5 of our listeners I'm referring to.
That's right. Some of whom don't even watch Housewives. I have to bring this up, though, because it just popped up. Our friend who does not like Melissa and his team Teresa just text us.
Okay.
Watching Real Housewives of New Jersey. I hate Melissa even more and all of her fake friends. # Team Teresa. So you know who you are out there. Our Team Teresa friend.
You have to come on.
We were just with on Friday.
Yes, you have to come on, Team Teresa friend, and you can give us your side.
I think she will, because her husband could totally help her get, we could do a Riverside with her.
Yeah, definitely. We definitely could do a Riverside.
Yeah, that's so funny. She literally just texted as we're doing this.
Did she text? That's so funny. Did she text both of us?
Yeah, it's in the We Wine Whenever group chat.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that they don't reboot Jersey altogether. Obviously, I don't want to see Teresa back. I mean, I'm pretty honest about that. I kind of hope that they just get rid of her and keep everybody else. Maybe they could put her on pause like Dorinda.
You know what they need to do? Just give her her spinoff. Let all the tree huggers have her and her family and Louis and his family. Just give her her own spinoff.
Please, for the love of God, do it. Because
that'll make everybody happy.
Don't have to watch her, and then they can just watch her.
Right.
But I don't want to see any of the other ones go. And I specifically want to see Jennifer Aydin in this group of women without Teresa. But I don't think they'll get rid of Teresa and not get rid of Jen, because they'd have to get rid of both of them for the same reason. And that's them talking to bloggers.
Yeah, but as of now, nothing has happened. And Teresa was on Watch What Happens Live. Jenn Aydin wasn't. And by the way, I never mentioned this, but I wanted to talk about that outfit that she wore on Watch What Happens Live. Enough already. I mean, seriously?
She does it because she knows Andy loves a jumpsuit.
I mean, that is just ridiculous. Seriously, ridiculous.
I can't believe she didn't have a side pony, because Andy loves a jumpsuit and a side pony. Like, if you want to kiss ass, kiss ass. That outfit was fucking ridiculous. Figure skater wouldn't even wear that outfit.
I mean, it wasn't even a jumpsuit. It was a cat suit. Like,
it was.
It was a cat suit. Like, and with those cutouts, I mean, come on. The 80s are calling. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, give it back. Give it back.
It was so bad. It was so
terrible.
Bad.
And who was she on with? That guy.
Yeah.
I don't know who he was.
I don't remember either.
But I love that all of the polls were not in her favor.
Yeah.
I just, it's just so clear to me that, yes, there are still some tree huggers, but I just think that there's more people that would rather see her go. And why aren't they getting rid of her? Because in the past, they have gotten rid of people. Vicky, prime example, she fucking started Housewives way before Andy was even there.
Yeah.
They got rid of her because of public opinion.
Yeah.
Brought her back. But they got rid of her. Yeah, give Teresa her own show so we don't have to watch it.
Let's give Teresa a spinoff.
Yep.
Teresa and Louis, their little love bubble, they can call it.
Yeah.
Let all the tree huggers go watch it. They will be happy as can be.
Yeah.
They'll still be slandering Melissa, but that's okay. That's fine.
That's all right. Yep. Yep. She doesn't want to be part of an ensemble cast because she thinks she is the show. Nobody who thinks they are the show should be on an ensemble cast. Give her her own show.
Yep.
And let's see how it does.
Okay, we're going to write this into Bravo. Can you listen to us, please? Just give Teresa her own show.
We're going to send it in.
Okay.
We're going to send it in.
Sounds good.
Real quick, can we talk about the Summer House reunion? Is there another part? Do you know?
No, I think that's it.
Yeah, somebody said the third part, and I'm like, there was only 2.
Yeah, I don't think there's a third part. I think that was it. I mean, did they toast at the end?
That's what I was just trying to think. I don't remember if they toasted at the end, but I'll tell you
we can talk about that.
West, that you made a big mistake, huge, and Paige is the number one friend in the group.
I love Paige.
Me too. She's just such a good friend, and she speaks so well on the fly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she didn't have any of that prepared because she didn't know what he was going to say. When he said he didn't want to be Sierra's little puppet, and she said that would be a very lucky spot for you.
Mm-hmm.
She's so right.
It's true. It's so true. I mean, I think after watching the reunion, I think that Lindsey looked bad. But I thought Lindsey looked bad all season.
Me too.
I don't think that Carl, in my opinion, blindsided her. I don't think that he did.
Me neither. And there was an unseen clip where Lindsey says that they did mushrooms one night.
Well, no, I saw that clip.
Did you watch it on Peacock? Because I don't think I saw it.
Oh, you know what? I think I did start to watch it on Peacock, and I think that was on Peacock because I was like, you know what? I have to watch the Peacock one because there's stuff that we don't get to see.
I'm going to watch the Peacock one too.
Yes, I did watch that on Peacock.
And I'm all for California sober. I get it. I get people who have problems with alcohol and cocaine and other vices, but can still smoke weed. I am a proponent of that personally. If that's going to keep you off of everything else, I say do it.
Right.
And I don't know. I have no opinion on this. I don't know where mushrooms falls into that category. Because that's a hallucinogen, right? A hallucinogen.
Right. So listen, he even says after we both did it, we decided we'll never do it again. Right. So, why would she put that out there? She just wanted to make him look bad.
She did.
And it is looking like, so there was just a wedding in Italy for Andrea.
How cute.
I know. So cute. And there's pictures of Lindsey there and Carl. And there's a picture where it's possible Lindsey is pregnant.
I didn't see that.
So the dress that she's wearing is a high-waisted dress with a little poof for the skirt. So it's very possible that she could be hiding a baby bump because that is what the rumor is out there, is that she is pregnant because she was supposed to be on Traitors or House of Villains. Which one was it?
Traitors.
And they pulled her at the last minute, and this came from Dorinda, and put Sierra in her place because supposedly Dorinda let them know that she was pregnant.
Honestly, I would believe that. I believe that. I would also believe that Sierra looks like such a queen right now. Mm-hmm. They would want her over Lindsey.
100%.
Sans the pregnancy or whatever else is going on.
Right.
I mean, Sierra looked like a queen. She always does. These guys are so fucking stupid. I mean, Austin is a lost cause. That guy, if he ever, he's going to be like Shep. He's going to find somebody who he thinks is the one, and he's going to go all in, and then he's going to fuck it up because that's who he is. West, I have a little more faith in. He has a bad look, man. Just because he knew where she was coming from, and God bless her for sticking to her morals and not just sleeping with anybody who walks by. Mm-hmm. And he knew that, and then he did that, and then he dumped her.
And she even said at the end, she's not even saying that it'll never happen.
I know,
because she still loves him.
I know.
And I'm like, oh.
And he was so not responsive the way he should have been.
Well, he didn't expect it. I think he was just expecting to get pummeled.
Right.
Which he should.
He should.
He deserves to be pummeled.
Yeah.
And then what about the rumors about Amanda and Kyle?
I was just going to ask you about that. So you heard that too.
Yeah.
I hope it's not true.
hope it's not true too.
I really hope it's not true because I really do like them together. Maybe he's just not ready to be a dad and she wants to have kids. I don't know. The whole moving to the suburbs thing. He does seem like a city guy, but come on, you could live outside the city. And she's from a beautiful area.
Yeah, I hope it's not true. I hope it's not true. I mean, I would imagine if Summer House is filming again, it would be like
right now.
any minute. Yeah, like right now. This is when they start.
I think we talked about
July
this. Maybe
4th,
they kick off 4th of July weekend,
which is right around the corner.
It'll be interesting to see who comes back though, because I don't know if they could really bring Lindsey and Carl back. I mean, I guess they can, but
well, I mean, Andy said that he would have both of them back if they'd want to come. Andy said that, although I don't know that he's a producer.
I don't think he's involved in Summer House.
I don't
think
we're
below deck.
I don't think he is. I don't know that it's his decision.
Right.
And if Sierra is filming like Traitors, how long is that? Like, could she do that and then come back?
I think Tamara said it's like 3 weeks.
Oh, that's it?
I thought that's what Tamara said on Two Teas in a Pod.
Okay. Oh, I guess 3 weeks is a long time. Like you're away, like you're in another, country.
And you have no access to social media. Like you don't have your phone. You can't watch TV. You really are secluded. And that's what Tamara said. That's part of it. Like you're going mad. You're right. I couldn't do, I couldn't do it.
No, you
take my phone away from me. 3 hours would be like, I'd start twitching. Although if there was a couple $100,000 on the line, I might
you
reconsider.
You would not be able to do it. You wouldn't be able to do it.
Either. I'm out. But,
all right. I can't think of anything else. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about?
No, I think we covered it all.
Okay. Until next time, thank you for watching and listening to We Wine Whenever.
Bye.
Bye.